Last week, a Queensland council announced that it would cancel its green waste collection for that very reason. Could it happen more broadly? Could it happen here? Kelly Grigsby is the CEO of the Municipal Association of Victoria, the body that represents all of the councils here in this fine state. Kelly Grigsby, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Prue.
When you heard about what that Queensland council had done, were you surprised to hear that they'd taken a measure like that?
Look, I think these are challenging times, as you said earlier, and like every level of government, local government needs to ensure that it can still provide essential services even during a fuel crisis such as we're in. So I'm pleased to share that Victorian councils have really been very much on the front foot, looking at ways to ensure they can still provide services during these times and mitigate the cost as much as they can. They're looking at a range of innovations, even looking at, bins on one side of the road to eliminate the need for two trips. So, lots of work being done right across councils to map services to make sure that they can continue through these challenging times.
We spoke with Andrew McLean from the Yarri-Ambiac Shire about a couple of weeks ago or so. We weren't necessarily talking about rising fuel costs, but he was explaining that in their shire they have 4 waste bin collection points, and it was just getting a little bit onerous. Have a listen.
We've got to try and get cost neutral with our waste. So how we get there, we don't know. As you say, we've a large area that we cover, and with a low population, but that glass collection's decreased, but our truck still has to run around the same distance to pick up, and therefore the actual cost per tonne of glass is simply going up.
So you're hearing similar sorts of stories, Kelly?
Oh, look, we certainly are, and we've been working with councils right across the state to, look at how we manage the rising costs of fuel, and of course, that's affecting a range of industries as well. The issue, from a council perspective, is ensuring that we're not passing that cost on to the ratepayer and, still providing those really important services. So there's many different things that councils are doing to mitigate the cost and the impact of this, and, right through from waste services through to even the delivery of maternal and child health. How do we arrange appointments in the same location on the same day? All of these sorts of things. How do we look at, the treatment of our own workforce and managing, carpooling, other ways of delivering essential service. But this is certainly something that's impacting the whole community. And so councils are affected just like every other industry and level of government.
Could the recent Fair Work order forcing companies to review their contracts in light of the fuel crisis affect councils as well? I know it's going to affect a lot of larger businesses.
It absolutely will, and this is the issue. It'll affect contracts in state government as well. So we just need to ensure that we're providing as much support to councils as we can to mitigate the impact of those rising costs, so that they don't impact adversely the services that we deliver to communities. And I think sometimes, when we think about the work of councils, we provide services that are life stage services. So, we're wanting to ensure that people are still getting their meals. They're still able to access maternal and child health services. They're still able to attend their immunisation appointments, pick up, roadside waste collection. So we're looking at, how we can utilise existing landfills potentially, to store more landfill for a limited period of time. So there's lots of exploration of, innovative approaches to deal with the fuel crisis, whilst, we're not obviously able to sort of pull those bigger levers around the geopolitical environment we find ourselves in. We are trying to look at how we best deliver service at the local level to ensure that continuation and continuity of service delivery.
A lot of work going on in the background. Kelly, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Kelly Grigsby is the CEO of the Municipal Association of Victoria. It's 17 minutes past 4.